Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh and here's a roundup of Overwatch news from San Diego Comic-Con 2017. Probably one of the world's biggest Comic-Cons, San Diego Comic-Con is going on right now and Blizzard always bring a good presence there with some Overwatch news, a lot of which was announced at the Doomfist behind the scenes of Overwatch's newest hero panel. So let's do a quick roundup. Zarya comic, Genji statue and a whole bunch more. Okay, a Zarya comic is on the way. Credit to SCarinaT on Twitter for the image. At Blizzard's Building Worlds panel, this image was shown where we see Zarya with a sugar skull in the background, Sombra's motif of course, protecting an Omnic of all things. And it's interesting to see the shadows of a mob on the wall behind her. Now having a look at that bunting and also the hairstyle of the punk shadow, and I'm guessing it's a punk on the left, these very much remind us of Dorado, I would say, perhaps the Los Muertos gang, and also the sugar skull of Sombra would make sense to set it in Mexico. But what the heck is Zarya doing in Dorado if that's the case? Well, we won't have long to find out. At the panel they said it's days, perhaps weeks at the most before this comic is out, so if it's not out before Gamescom at the end of August, maybe we're going to see yet another comic in the next few weeks, so it's good to see a bunch of lore coming soon. What do you reckon's going on there? It's going to be really interesting character development for Zarya in terms of why she's protecting Omnics. I can't wait to find out. Do let us know any theories in the comments. Okay, next up, it's also been announced that a Genji statue is incoming. Now, if you followed the Overwatch World Cup last year, or indeed have been following it this year, you'll have seen this little sting that they use before various pieces of these streams. Of course, this has Genji posed, it has Mercy posed in it, as I reported on last year, and it also, of course, has the other poses of statues, including Widowmaker, that we've seen release, and of course, the sort of model of the Soldier 76 statue from the Collector's Edition. So, good to know that Genji is incoming. Blizzard sculptor Dominic Quick confirmed that it's actually going to be one of the full-size collectible statues, so look out, I would imagine, for the pose that we saw in the World Cup trailer that I've shown, coming pretty soon. Okay, a quick update on the Overwatch Doomfist panel. Now there's some really cool concept art shared as the Overwatch dev team talked about the development process. Calling out a couple of things here, apparently an early version of Doomfist was able to actually pick up enemies to absorb damage, use them as human shields, or even throw them off of cliffs. But apparently Jeff Goodman said that this was getting away from his original idea because he's not a luchador or a wrestler. Another thing that Doomfist could do that's being shown in this footage here was pick up pieces of the ground and actually throw them at people to like grab rocks and knock fires out of the air, which looks loads of fun. His ultimate also apparently started out as being part of Orisa's kit, so imagine Orisa using Meteor Strike before it was moved to Doomfist. Now, when Jeff Goodman was talking about this on the panel, these were things that got away from the idea of Doomfist and sort of being punching or punch guy. So although these abilities are cool, it's interesting to see the design philosophy. If there's a strong idea behind a character, then the abilities have to kind of fit in with that as much as possible. Now, Doomfist was also apparently considered a tank early on in development. The developers believed that this made sense, but Goodman said that it ended up feeling weird because they couldn't have a tank with a sort of crazy lethal fist, quote unquote, in terms of the damage that it did, and they didn't want a Roadhog situation or a Roadhog-like situation coming back, which is fair, I guess, when you have a tank that feels as if they've got this assassin kind of ability almost, like Roadhog's hook and shot combo. It felt a little bit bad for people, so it makes sense that Doomfist falls into the offensive category. Also, something pretty cool here that was shared in the panel art-wise was this comparative scale chart showing the different heights of the heroes. So you can see that Torbjorn is 1.5 meters high, Trace is about 1.60 meter, and Doomfist and Reinhardt, of course, being the giants of the lineup, standing at just over 2 meters. Go ahead and work out the other heroes' heights if you want to, but I just find it interesting to see for scale purposes. Last but not least, a little bit on merch now. Blizzard at SDCC announced something kind of cool. They will offer convention exclusive merchandise, so it's not just SDCC exclusive. So for people like myself who haven't managed to get to that wonderful convention yet, it means that any merch that Blizzard sell there that's convention exclusive will also be available at conventions like BlizzCon and Gamescom. So if you're going to Germany to Gamescom next month or BlizzCon in November, there will be Blizzard exclusives too, but these are available at conventions where Blizzard has a booth and also on the Blizzard Gear store. There are also premiere items that will debut at Comic-Con, but will also be available at retailers and or the Gear store later. So if you can't get to SDCC, then there is a chance of getting some of this stuff elsewhere, which is very awesome. As for what's at SDCC, there's a very cool, cute but deadly Bastion. There's this anniversary art print by Neskane. Of course, you may have seen it around the Overwatch anniversary event. That, I believe, is convention exclusive, so will be available at other conventions in future. And also some other cool pieces like the Golden 76 Funko, and the line of tokidoki stuff that was announced not too long ago. There's a really cool notepad as well that I've seen in some pictures of the convention merchandise. That's not on the Blizzard store, but you can check some of it out there. Thanks for tuning in to this news update. Hope you enjoyed. If you like this vid, please do like, subscribe and comment, and do check out my Overwatch lore, news, comic analysis, of course, of the latest comic Masquerade, and a whole bunch more in these playlists here. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.